Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. On this video, I'm going to try to make some earrings out of this chunky glitter. This is something that you can get at Hobby Lobby. It's often half off, and if not, you can use a coupon on it, so it's very inexpensive. And then I'm going to go ahead and back this with some white faux leather using heat and bond to adhere them together. And I want to go ahead and adhere them together before I cut because I think that just gives your edges a much cleaner look. I've never cut glitter faux leather before, so if I'm unsuccessful, then I'm going to use as an alternative these two pieces of faux leather. Now, glittery things don't stick very well to transfer tape, to mats, things like that. So I'm going to use my strong grip mat, but I'm also going to use, to protect my mat, this strong grip transfer tape. And I'll lay it down sticky side up. Then I'll probably further go ahead and further tape my faux leather down to my mat just to give some extra insurance. And then to cut the earrings, I'm going to use my Cricut Maker. To start with, so that it can have some time to cool off, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my two layers together. You wouldn't want to put this through a machine until it's cooled off because the adhesive could be kind of sticky. I went ahead and put my little Cricut Mini on low. You could use an iron or a bigger Cricut Easy Press. This one is just so handy to use when you just need a small amount. Then I think I'll go ahead and cut my material at about 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Then I'm going to cut my backing material just a tiny bit wider and longer than my glitter leather. Now, I don't know where the plastic roll or the plastic sleeve is that this came in. It is the red colored one, and I will go ahead and post a picture here. I really love to use heat and bond. I use it for a lot of different applications. One side is bubbly, and that's the adhesive. So you attach that first, and then you peel the paper backing, and then this becomes adhesive, and you put your other layer on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're starting with the glitter faux leather. And let's see. That is close enough. I'm going to go ahead and protect my iron with this little Teflon sheet. Now, you just adhere it on for a few seconds. I think the instructions say 2 seconds to start with for your first layer. And since my iron is small, that's kind of tricky, so I'm just going to do it until I think I'm good. Then you're supposed to let this cool completely. So while it's cooling, let me go ahead and cut off a little bit of the excess. Okay, looks like it's good and attached, and I'm going to say that's cool enough. So you just grab a little corner and pull this backing sheet. Oh, that is not attached very well. Okay, so that did not stick yet. Let's see if this corner did. Okay, that one is stuck down. So if I can get it started, I can probably pull the rest of it off. It's going to get pressed again, so I'm not too concerned that it's not super stuck in this corner. So now you just take your other layer of what you're using. This is the white faux leather. And then lay that down on top of it. Now this time you're supposed to press it for 8 seconds, and I probably should have just used my bigger Easy Press for this, but I didn't. So I'm going to have to do this for quite a while. I'll just fast forward through this, but 8 seconds is what you're supposed to do. That is so pretty. Okay, that feels really nicely bonded, so I'm going to let this cool down completely, and in the meantime, we'll jump over to the computer and we'll make our design. I went ahead and opened up a new project in Cricut Design Space. Now I want to click on Upload because I'm going to upload something from my desktop that I found online. We'll upload image, browse, then I just called it tree. And I just did a Google search for Christmas tree clip art, and then I cleaned it up just a little bit in Inkscape, which is a free design software. I absolutely love it. I used to hate it, and now I love it. So if you haven't tried it for a while, watch some videos. It really is something you can learn. So let's go ahead and say save, and here it is. So I'll click on that and insert it into my project. Now, one thing I'm getting used to is I just bought a Cricut Joy, I don't know, just within the last month or so. And so that's the last thing I used. I do need to change it to my Cricut Maker. I assume that maybe the Joy could cut glitter faux leather, but I have so much faith in my Maker that I didn't even want to try it. Now I want my earrings to be about 2.5 inches tall. With this little nub here, that's not going to add much, so 2.5 inches, I don't think that will be too large. The proportions are locked, so I will just go here to the height and say 2.25. And because the proportions are locked, it changes the width to the correct dimension as well. Then we'll click on duplicate, and we're ready to cut. Now notice I don't have any holes in these. I'm going to punch my own holes because I just don't have faith that this chunky glitter faux leather would cut very well with a teeny tiny little hole. Now let's go ahead and click Make It. I like to position my things down at, typically a lot of the times, 2 inches down and 2 inches over. And I'm tempted to go ahead and just flip this upside down and save a little material. That way I can move it over a little bit. Now, I could butt it up here, but I want to have a little bit of adhesion of the material between the two trees. Again, just being new to this material, I'm going to be a little bit conservative. So we'll click Continue. Now here I'm just going to have to rely on some videos that I've watched for the settings, and I'm going to use this bonded denim. We'll click Done. Okay, it wants me to make sure my mirror is turned on and have the bonded side face up. These earrings are symmetrical, so I'm not concerned about it, but I will have the backing face side up and the glitter pretty side down. I have my fine point blade in clamp B, so we're ready to cut. I've prepared my mat with some Cricut Strong Grip transfer tape, sticky side up. That's going to protect my mat. And then I have my faux leather, the glitties. I have my faux leather, the glitties. I have my faux leather. Here's the glitter side, and then here's the backing. And this is also just a white faux leather that I got off of Amazon. And I'll link to that variety pack that I bought from Amazon online. And thank you so much to those of you that actually go into Amazon through my links and make qualifying purchases, because I do receive a little commission from them. And I truly appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to use this super hold tape just for some added insurance. I can't find my dispenser, so I'm just going to have to cut it off this new roll. Now, one thing I have found, if you're using something like a Scotch tape that's more plasticky, I want to have it outside of my cut. I didn't think it mattered, but I have had the blade jump before when it tried to go over it, so now I always place it outside the cut. Some people use painter's tape, and I don't think that it's as finicky since it's really more of a paper. I think you probably can on that, but I'm not 100% sure of that. All right, I'm going to check the blade, make sure it's clean. And then the last thing I wanted to let you know is I did change from default pressure to more pressure. So let's see what we get. Now that cut all the way through, and the cut on the white faux leather side is very crisp. But with this chunky glitter faux leather, some of these glitters just don't come off right. So I'm going to turn it over so I can see the exact shape and just cut along the shape. Here's what we have so far, and they turned out really, really pretty. Let me show you these a little closer. Then I really want to show you the sides. Isn't that nice? They're just adhered together so well. I really prefer to put the heat and bond on before cutting, because if you wait until after and you use an E6000 or leather glue, you just have so much more precision work you have to do. This is so much easier. Now, one thing that I did notice after I did the cut, they are very pointed, and I would prefer they not be quite as pointed so that I could just put a fish hook on them without jump rings. I went into Inkscape and I modified the design so that next time they won't be so pointed. You can do that by editing the points, and that's really not as difficult as it sounds. It's pretty easy. But I don't want to recut these, so for now I'm just going to do surgery with this little clipper. Okay, and that's about what they look like in the file that I fixed. Now, I have these sterling silver fish hooks that I got off of Amazon. You get a lot of them. They're very reasonably priced. I will link to those in the description below. Then I also got this punch toolkit. And I like this because they come with some really teeny tiny punches. Much smaller than if you use the leather punch. So I do like this when I'm trying to do smaller holes. Again, I got that off of Amazon and I'll link to that. Okay, this one says it's a 1.5 millimeter, so I'm going to try that one. Now to put these fish hooks on, the end of my material, the end of the metal, is on this side right here, the side furthest away from my body. So I'm just going to twist it open. Slide my earring over it and then twist it right back. And there's our final earrings. They are beautiful. Very blingy, very pretty. Thanks for joining me today. Until the next video. Bye-bye.